What is up, duck hunters? All right, so this one we're going to talk about the difference between apartment locating versus typical sales jobs, though, and the differences between them. And so, a fantastic point I want to make when it comes to apartment locating compared to other typical sales jobs is that there's two critical things that I want you guys to understand, so that way you understand the industry you're in and why apartment locating is so freaking awesome compared to any other sales job out there, right? Like, you ever see those people at Costco selling like $400 like Blendtec blenders and stuff, or $300 Vitamixes? And so this is why our job as apartment locators are so much better than typical sales jobs, right? Basically, the first reason, it's a free service, right? And so we're basically like offering to help our clients for free. And so it's like, why would they not use if you're looking for an apartment, why would you not use an apartment locator? Because the service is totally free and we're making it more efficient, right? So if you're interested in an apartment downtown, you're like, you know what, I really want to be on 6th Street or something, right? Or Rainy Street if you live in Austin, Texas. It's like, I want to be on Rainy Street, but I want to pay the least amount possible, but I also don't want to walk around Rainy Street and like have to park and then like talk to all these people, find out about their availability, go to every single building. Why would you do that when you can just contact an apartment locator? It takes them 5 minutes. Hey, listen, I want to be in Rainy Street. The apartment has to be newer, so it has to be Class A, right? Newer than 2012, but I really just want the best rate for a 1-bedroom. What's it going to be? And then an apartment locator can just type that into their database, send you the list for free, and then now you just go through the list, right, without having to park. And then all right, it's this one for this much money, $1,500, that's a good deal, right? And so then you go there, and then, you didn't even pay the locator or anything. And it doesn't even change the normal rent if they were to call without you, it's still the same rate. So it's such a cool service because it's so efficient, the service you do. So you can actually be proud of the job you have, right? You're not just selling someone like a $400 blender, which is, those are valuable too. I have a $400 blender, and I really love my blender, but I don't need it. And that's what I want to want the message to go across, right? I had to pay for it, right? Where with an apartment locating, it's a very valuable and efficient service, and your client, it's free, they don't have to pay you. So that's so awesome. It's so much easier to sell someone on something that's free than having to say, hey, like, it's $400 or it's $1,000. And so the second main point is that, when people call you and they're looking for an apartment, it's like, they need an apartment. So if they're calling you interested in renting an apartment, 90% of the time they actually need to finding an apartment. Unless it's like an 18-year-old kid and he's like kind of interested in moving out but doesn't have to. That happens too. But 90% of the time when adults contact you, right, and they need an apartment, they definitely need an apartment. So like, if you're not going to close them, they're going to go close themselves and not work with a broker and still rent an apartment, or contact someone else that's more competent than you, and they're going to make that locator commission. And so that's what's really, really cool, right? They need it. And so unlike other typical sales jobs, right, like if you're at Costco and a salesman's like trying to sell you this blender, first of all, it's not free. You have to pay for it. And second of all, you absolutely don't need that. You'd be better off with in some cases, your $50 Hamilton Beach blender, right? They all do the same thing, just one works better. And so you don't need it. But with apartment locating, with your leads and with your clients, you basically are not charging them anything at all, right? So they're happy. And then the people that do pay you the building, they're super happy because they would not have otherwise have gotten that client. So, in the 12-month lease, sure, they'll give you 1 month out of the 12 months that they have them for, because it's just justified, honest, good work. And so it's free service compared to typical sales jobs, and they actually need it. So it's like, they're going to do it, and they're going to purchase it no matter what. Imagine if people came into Costco, right, and we just had some weird, it was required, it was a law for everyone to have Costco Vitamix blenders, right? It would be a lot easier. And what if they were free, right? And so that's like if you were working we were Costco salespeople, right? And we were selling these $400 blenders, and then now it's like the president released the law that it's a requirement for everyone to have them, and it's going to be free. You know how easy we would be, the ultimate salespeople ever, right? Selling these blenders. People would come in and would go, hey, have you looked at our awesome blender? You need one, you have to have one, right? It's a requirement. And so they're like, well, yeah, I definitely need one. And then you're like, it's also free, and look how awesome it is. And so my point is this, with apartment locating, these people need an apartment, and you're not even gonna charge them anything in most markets. I know in Boston it's a little different, right? But the same concept is there, right? You work with someone, they might pay you a fee, you send them the list. In most other markets, unless you're in Boston, some parts of Boston, you know, it's like, they need an apartment, you send them the list for free, and the building pays you. And so, it's just such a cool sales job, right? Like, it's free and they actually need it. And so there's no reason at all why every single one of us, especially if you're a duck hunter and you go through this whole course, there's absolutely no reason that you can't make at least $10,000 a month every single month, like autopilot, right? Like on autopilot. 10 grand at least, 10 grand at least, 10 grand at least every single month. Because these people need apartments, so as long as you're doing your leads correctly, and we show you how to generate the most effective leads ever, and for a low cost, most of the very critical systems that we're going to show you are free anyways, so why would you not utilize them? And then you know, these people need it, and they're going to get it regardless whether or not you're going to help them or not. They're going to go lease an apartment, you know, and you're not charging them anything. So as long as like you're kind and friendly on the phone, you sound trustworthy, you're competent, there is absolutely no reason you can't make $10,000 every single month forever now. And that's why apartment locating is so cool, especially when you start off with real estate.